Hello and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and this is part 7 of the How to Beat Team Liquid at TI7 series. Again, this is going to be the first game between Infamous and Team Liquid. I'm doing a replay analysis for every single game that Liquid played at TI. Throughout the group stage and the main stage, and this is going to be a game from day 2 of the group stages, I believe, and I think this is an interesting one. I'm not so sure. I actually never watched this game before, so it's going to be fresh eyes on this replay. But right now, I mean, Infamous gave Liquid the IO. I'm not sure. Actually, am pretty sure actually that no team beat Liquid's IO at TI. Can't be wrong about that. They might have lost one game with it, but I'm pretty sure it's not this one. Anyway, they got a really strong early game lineup here with IO and Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker is global. IO's not global until he gets level 6, but it can be pseudo global because one thing that IO can actually do is like tether to a Spirit Breaker that's charging. If he catches him with like the long tether, he can actually move like almost halfway across the map with the Spirit Breaker before the tether stops pushing him forward. Not sure if that makes sense, but it's definitely really high gank potential that Liquid has in the early game. If they play the laning stage properly, which they usually do, they always come ahead of the laning stage and they usually win the laning stage. So rough game for Infamous if they don't have the cleanest laning stage. I'm looking at their lineup already. They have a Juggernaut that is geared up to deal with the Darkseer, which he can lane against the Darkseer, but he has to watch out if he expends too much of his mana, whether it's because he needs to spin to protect himself or using healing ward for sustain. If he ever runs out of mana, he definitely can be killed by the Spirit Breaker and potentially the IO rotating in. Liquid going to pick up Lone Druid, a nice solid solo laner for Matama Man. Most likely sent to the safe lane here. And I think that their last pick, of course, will be a hero for Miracle that will be dual laned with the IO. So what I already predict that's going to happen right now, because I watched enough Liquid replays to realize this, is they're going to send the Spirit Breaker to the off lane with the Darkseer, and then IO is going to dual lane mid. Lone Druid, of course, will solo top, and then they're going to play the game around the mid and off lane. They're going to leave Lone Druid to do his thing. They'll have TPs on the IO most likely to protect him in case he gets like dove super hard or something like that, but I don't see them rotate into his lane too much. The last ban from Infamous actually will be a Bristleback. They're scared of a Bristle IO dual mid, which could potentially be strong. Again, this silencer I think is a support. Tomato does play silencer mid a lot, but I don't think it is going to be a silencer mid game this game. As again, silencer is very vulnerable, and having to play against Spirit Breaker IO and plus whatever hero Miracle is going to have here as the last pick will be pretty bad for him. And I think Silencer does have to watch out this game. It definitely can just end up feeding. This Sand King Silencer combination is something that was pretty popular in NA for a while, especially before TI, but I don't think it will match up with Liquid's lineup. It really depends. If they can get ahead on the Sand King, or he can get like fast like Tranquils or something like that, where he can run on the map
Phantom Assassin.
Come on, dire team.
Potentially like gank the IO or something like that, but I just don't see that happening. It will be a PA mid for Miracle. So at this point, they have a pretty snowbally lineup, and if Liquid get ahead, they will get really far ahead. At this point,
really gotta pick a hero. You got 10
pretty
seconds
award
left.
for Infamous. They do have a solid lineup, I would say, but their lineup can fall apart really hard as well. I could already see like the Jug getting super underfarmed, getting dove, and they can just outright lose the game with PA blinking in with heavy crits, and I don't agree with the puck pick. For Tomato, it's a slippery hero, and it can avoid the charge, of course, with phase shift and jaunting to the orb, but also Puck is a very squishy hero, and easily, we actually did watch this game before, never mind. I just was a while ago. I did cast this game live, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, Liquid definitely stomped this one. But we'll speed right up into the replay.
You really
As
gotta
you don't
pick
want
a
to waste
hero. You
too
got
much
10
more time
seconds
in the draft
left.
analysis. My opinion on the draft already is it is a win
Giant
for
tentacle monsters.
Liquid, and
We'll be
we'll get
fine.
right
Let's
into
party!
the game. So as I said, it will be a dual lane mid. Let's see the setup of the wards. What the heck? This is bugged. Anyway, this is a Dire ward, Radiant ward, Dire ward. Got 2 wards here. I do like this ward. This ward's pretty good as well. It gives them vision of the rune. I usually likes to go in this area, either camping up here or going for the rune. Matama Man will be sent to the safe lane. 1v1 against the Legion Commander. Pretty solid matchup for Matama Man. So the reason why I do say Liquid win the draft here is because Matama Man is going to do well in his lane. And they're going to send 2 heroes here to maybe steal his rune, but he's still going to do fine in his lane, even against 2 heroes. And I don't think it's a right call to send Sand King to contest Matama Man, because their lanes are going to be punished super hard elsewhere, and we already see Mind Control head up here with GH, and they already have to back off from him because the Sand King isn't up here.
Look at this game. It just started, baby.
He's going to give the rune to GH, and he's going to send his bottle right out to him. So I expect Kuroki to play in this area, and he can charge in to mid or the top lane. He could also provide a tether target for GH to get to this bounty rune easier. And as we see already, we're going to watch the harass trade between GH and Miracle in the mid lane. This is critical to Liquid success with IO. They're the best at trading efficiently with this hero. GH also going to take Miracle's Sal from the courier so that the courier doesn't have to walk all the way up in case like Puck tries to snipe it or something.
Where did that player just decide to go?
So let's just open up Last Instant in Eyes, and you can only see the dagger spam coming out from Miracle. He pretty much has infinite mana, and they're just going to try to harass down Tomato as much as they can. I think GH is heading back to stack here, but he's a little bit too late, so he's going to give up on that. You can already see the amount of harass that Tomato is taking, and he's a little bit slow in calling salvo actually. I wonder why. Normally mid players call their salvo immediately. Again, Puck is not a bad matchup or early on, because he can actually just avoid the daggers for the most part. But phase shift cooldown is exactly the same as the dagger cooldown. So once he times it properly, you should be able to dodge every dagger. But he's actually been getting hit by a couple, so Tomato looks a little bit off, I think. Oh, he was waiting for the magic stick. Alright, that makes sense. He wanted to call the stick and the salve on the same courier, but now he's going to get charged as they saw him use his phase shift. Here comes Kuroki. Kuroki will die for this, actually. Oh, no, he's totally fine. And just look how aggressively Miracle is playing with the help of GH. You're going to dive Tomato down. He falls really low, but he will actually go down here. GH manages to still survive. Fairy Fire keeping him alive, forcing the TP rotation from Queen Tekka. I think GH will die here. Nope. Regen rune coming out. Lucky rune for him. Charge coming in from Kuroki. Not result on a kill, but anyway. This mid lane is already going really well for Liquid. Again, Puck's okay against like PA alone because he can just dodge her daggers, but you can see how aggressive Miracle is able to play here. He's blinking on Tomato aggressively, trading auto attacks, spamming daggers, and Puck just doesn't have the answer to all of that. I mean, he's a squishy hero, and he's very susceptible to taking this heavy harass from the IO and PA combo. And again, Kuroki just always wait in the wings, and as soon as he sees the phase shift used, the orb used, he can charge in, and there is all of Tomato's escape already committed. So once he does that, he can't get away from the charge, and they can just dive him under tower, as you saw there. Rotation from Matthew will get a kill onto the Darkseer. I think it doesn't really matter how this matchup goes with Mind Control. You can always just farm jungle. He just needs to avoid 2-nade deaths. Of course, you could always contest these pulls as well, but with the 3 top, which I thought they would start 3 top, they actually wanted to contest bottom a little bit, with the Sand King. But I think Sand King either had to start mid right away or bottom. Did he actually start top though? Am I crazy? Oh, he did start bottom, so I'm not crazy. Alright, anyway. Let's head back to where we were. So right now, notice you see the orb used from Tomato. They're gonna charge in with Matthew in the mid lane, which I thought he would start in the mid from the beginning, but he's actually doing not a bad job so far. He's here now and he will secure them 2 kills. Tomato with a double kill, and Miracle is back in, playing really ballsy because GH was respawning with the TP. He will just heal Miracle back up. Being efficient with the regen, this is something that you need to take note when playing with the IO duel. You need to make sure that you trade regen effectively, making sure that your carry just plays aggressively as possible because IO will be there to heal. And again, GH always goes for the salve, something that I watched a lot of his IO replays, and it's a huge game changer in this early game, where the salve will just allow him to constantly keep Miracles sustained. So mind control goes down again, but again, I don't think this lane matters too much as long as mind control is getting his levels. Normally with like a Darkseer game, Darkseer wants to get like a super fast mech, and it's really important. But I think in this game, as long as he gets his levels up, he can just start rotating to fights, putting the Iron Shell onto Spirit Breaker or Miracle, and then they'll clean up these fights and get his gold from the mech. But let me see again here onto Miracle, but notice the south from GH. I don't think that this is the right play from Infamous to do this, because now they're going to get turned on, the charge is going to come in. So what they need to actually do is commit so that the IO uses the regen and then just back off. It sounds weird, but I think that's actually the way you beat IO, is you commit so that IO just uses regen and you don't dive, because if you dive too far, they're just going to heal up all the way and then kill you. You just bait the IO there and then you try to like gank elsewhere after IO's used all his regen. But that's why GH's IO is so effective, because he'll keep a salve on deck, so he'll never be out of regen. He'll go for the rune now, but he would have been out there because they did go for a really deep dive there and force a lot of regen out of him. Like normally, say for example, you went onto IO that just has a bottle, no salve for example. You would force some bottle charges out of the IO, and then you would eventually make him run out, and then you would gank for the other lane, and then IO couldn't even rotate, even if he did have a TP, because he couldn't heal anyway. But what GH does is he has the salve, so then, let's say he uses all his bottle charges to heal Miracle, he will be able to just TP to the other lane with the salve and help them with that regen, so it's pretty next level, and I think it's really powerful. It makes a huge difference actually. But as we see here, Infamous, I would say, not used to playing against an IO team such as Liquid, where they're fighting really early on, rotating a lot of heroes. And as I said, they most likely wouldn't fight in Matoma Man's lane, but they found the opportunity to do so and dive deep here, forcing other Infamous heroes to come in. And this type of chaos is where IO shines, is forcing heroes to come in one at a time. The regen from IO is insane, and notice another salve bought by GH. And that was just a arcane rune pickup from GH, a deep charge, and Infamous made the mistake of TPing heroes one at a time instead of just letting the heroes die, trying to get farm elsewhere on the map. I think the best way to counter IO in these type of scenarios is just try to outfarm with heroes that can just farm real fast. So I think potentially better pickup here for Tomato probably would have been like a TA or something similar to that can just farm. But even then, TA will have some trouble with this dual lane mid. But I think it was a better pickup than Puck, because Puck wants to fight, and he doesn't farm that fast. He can push out lanes fairly fast later on in the game, but ideally at this point in the game, like from the 8 to 15 minute mark, he wants to like fight a lot, and that's where IO shines. And that's where PA will also shine, because crits are really, Puck is a really squishy hero to crits, and if he gets crit by Miracle at all, he'll just get melted. Sometimes even dying from like half HP. once Mattel Man gets his items up on the lone druid, they can just actually end the game real fast. So right now, Sand King will be camping the mid lane. So Infamous's team doesn't have that many plays actually. Like, they can try to go for ganks, but again, it's super hard against Liquid. Every time they're going for a gank, they're putting themselves at risk, where Liquid can just chill. And if they do chill, they're also getting ahead because they also can hit this really strong timing. So I don't know what Infamous's best play here is, because their lineup is, again, a lot of these games boil down to draft, and that's why I try to focus on the draft analysis at least a little bit as for the game. This draft particularly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. What's the matter with
I won't
you
say
guys?
bad for Infamous, but they kind of went with like a standard draft that they're used to, which would work in a lot of scenarios, but not against how Liquid play. As you see here, they try to force a gank there onto the Roki, and manage to just barely survive. Another team fight is going to break out here, but again, it's a chaotic one. You can expect it to go Liquid's way already. Still have an honest slash.
Oh boy, killing spree.
It's actually gonna come ahead. It's a triple kill for Tomato, and they'll get the lone druid kill in there as well. But Loki has respawned. They're still in the fight. Rick jumps back in. Ultra kill for Tomato. Holy crap! All right, maybe I'm wrong. Infamous rotate all their heroes here, and they will come ahead in this fight.
Whoa,
Liquid
Dire's
going a little
bottom
bit too
tower's
deep
under
there,
attack.
and good plays there by Tomato as well. And he's gonna have a really early veil, and he's ready to do battle.
The coin of the realm.
And this does put Liquid at a little bit of a disadvantage. But Taliban, of course, was already farming well, but now he's died without his bear, so he has to farm with just his regular druid for a while here. He's waiting for his bear cooldown. They use Omni Slash. They use a lot of abilities there. Did they use the global? They used it in the previous fight, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, now Liquid is just gonna chill. All they need to do is chill until the mech comes out for mind control. That's a huge timing. They already got this bottom tower, and they're gonna look to pressure top next and draw Infamous there. While that will just buy time for mind control to push out this bottom lane. Mid lane is kind of risky to push in. There's a lot of avenues for Infamous to go for like, wraparounds, ganks, and pickoffs. So I'm gonna expect Miracle to just take the safe farm at this point, farming the Ancients. Is exactly what he's doing right now. While GH will clear up the mid wave. Mid-wave pushes into the tower. He will have his urn now. All the core items are up onto
Dire's
the
top
IO
tower
pretty
is
much.
under
Has the
attack.
stick, wand, stick, urn, and a bottle. Again, Infamous is attempting to play really fast here. They got the global up again. Omnislash is cooling down. They'll have the Dream Coil. They'll go for Miracle. Global will be committed, so the relocate can't come out, and Miracle will die. But during this whole time, Mattel Man is pushing out to the
Dire's
top
tower is
lane,
under attack.
and GH actually is in trouble mid as well. Tries to relocate out, but Matthew will get the stun in, canceling it. Charge will come in now. Duel comes in, and it's going to be 2 kills, 3 kills. Oh, Kuroki barely managed to get the TP out. But during this whole time, Miracle is Mind Control is farming, Mattel Man is farming. He's up in the top tower. Matthew will miss the stun, and like Liquid don't really care too much about them losing these deaths here.
Dire's top tower is
Because again,
done
it's not
for.
accomplishing anything on the map for instance. It's getting them a little bit ahead in terms of like their farm, if even, right? Because this whole time you can see Liquid is still keeping the net worth advantage.
Dire's bottom tower
Whereas
is
Mind Control is
hit.
just pushing out the bottom lane. They had to rotate all 5 heroes there, and they got a dual win out of it. They got a kill there onto Miracle, sure, but like they had to
Jeez,
go
Morty, they're
really
going
deep.
after
They
Dire's
expended a
bottom
lot of
tower.
time to get those kills, and I mean, as a result, these lose their top tower. So that, like, Liquid actually lost nothing for that. Like, they don't really care too much about that. Those deaths. It was a smoke from Infamous. There was a lot of time wasted. They did get some good wards out with that smoke. Or actually, this ward was already there. This ward was new. But again, Liquid are chill right now. They just want this mech onto Mind Control. Desolator onto Miracle. Now they're insanely strong. Miracle also will be hitting level 12. And Kuroki will get the D ward.
This will do nicely.
So at this point, they're waiting for the Radiance, which Matoman is getting close to. He's being able to farm this top lane pretty much uncontested. Right now, Infamous do want to slow the game down a bit so that they can get Matthew his Blink Dagger. And Benjaz only has a Joshua. His farm isn't looking that great. If we open up the net worth right now, we'll see that Matoman is by far ahead. And same thing with Miracle. He's actually right up there with Matoman as well. So even though a couple of fights have not gone Liquid's way, they're still keeping ahead in terms of farm, just because of how they're able to play on the map here. While Infamous, like, they don't have the option to split up as much as Liquid do because of the IO. They try to split
Dire's
farm like
middle
Liquid is
tower's
doing,
under
they're gonna get
attack.
charged. Like, for example, let's say Tomoman was on the Dire right now and he was trying to push out this far. Right? He would get charged, Relocate would come in, and he can't do this. But because they don't have the blink yet onto the Sand King, they do have a blink onto Legion, but he's not gonna be able to kill the Lone Druid alone. As for Tomato, he has just Veil, so he doesn't have a blink yet either. There's no initiation. There's no way that they can provide vision onto Metal Man. And if they try to go on him, he's just going to be able to cast a Savage Roar, run away, and that's the end of that. So during this whole time, Mind Control efficiently farming through the jungle, pushing out the bottom wave, already has completed his mech. Again, this is Liquid's timing about, so they're ready to fight, but they're not ready to push aggressively yet. They're waiting for the Radiant still. And Relic is going to be soon complete onto the Tunnel Man. Mind Control's job right now is just to push out the bottom lane and farm the jungle. Miracle will farm these camps over here, and Liquid just farming every single lane at this point. Infamous is doing the same, but Liquid already ahead, and they also have the stronger timing here. And now Infamous will hit their Blink Dagger onto the Sand King, but as you can see, like, this is not the ideal game for Puck. See, for example, let's say like if there's like a TA or somewhere who can farm real fast right now, they'd actually be keeping even with Liquid and putting themselves in a better position, because they just have a Puck who wants to fight right now, where they don't really want to fight into Liquid at this point in time. It's really difficult against the mech Darkseer. Liquid is able to just slow the game down and get this Radiance onto Metal Man. Like, Infamous need to either really push their advantage here, which is super risky, because if they lose a fight, they can just straight up lose the game, or try to outfarm Liquid and outscale them. And they're not really doing either at this point.
Dire's bottom tower
They
is
do have a
under
hero
attack.
to fight, but then Puck is very squishy to the PA, so it can easily go bad. And now they will try to push it on the mid tower with the blink onto Matthew, who's hiding in the trees. But I think Liquid don't really care about this. Yeah, Duel's gonna come in. Miracle actually will get killed. Tower will fall, but Liquid Mind Control is doing the bottom wave. Coming in, especially in the top wave. Once this Radiance come out, they're significantly stronger, and they will lose the mid tower. They will lose Miracle, but like Miracle dying like this is not setting him that far back. He did go for a hood just for some extra survivability against the magic damage, but you look at Tomato, like, he is not keeping up in farm. He's just farming too slow. Puck is not a hero that can farm fast, and because of how the game is going, they needed to put a lane for the Sand King, so then they're missing out a lot of farm there, and Puck can't clear through the jungle that fast. He's just not playing the game that a Puck wants to play, because
I'll take that as tribute.
of how they have picked against Liquid, right? The Puck
Oh boy,
is way too
Dire's middle
squishy.
tower's under
He tries to force too many fights. He's just gonna get bursted by the PA, and it's not a good time for him. And as a result, he's had a slow game. His farm is not getting up there, even though he did get a culture kill. And you can see he's already significantly far behind Miracle. And now at this point, Radiance almost complete. I expect once that hits, even before it hits, they're already preparing to push in the mid lane. The Radiance is coming soon, very soon, and you're already looking to play aggressive. Now, comes out, no. Look at the power of the mech coming out from the Darkseer. Heals Miracle back to full save GH as well, and we'll turn this fight. Super Benjaz comes in with the Omni Slash. Doesn't do much of anything. Now the Doom Core will come in. They don't care about that skills either. Now the Radiance is out for a Tumble Man, and This is the beginning of the end. Infamous Miracle diving in deep. You know, Omnisage already committed. Healing the Lord and keeping alive for a while. Matthew gets a stun there on the PH, but he'll die. However, Command is here. Nice root there on Tomato. Charge comes through. Dead puck. And Miracle's trying to dive deep here for Benjaz. He does sneak himself out, but that's tier 1 dead. They're going for the tier 2. And this is looking like a really hard game for Infamous all of a sudden. And Quinteka has his Blink Dagger and his Blade Mail.
Middle tower's under attack.
Go on to Matumba Man here. He's waiting to die. Benjaz gets charged up. Bear for extra attack speed. Mech will heal the bear up. Did use relocate into that one, but we're just gonna go straight mid. Looking to take a petrol racks here. I do think they can't take the racks here. Maybe not actually. No, they can just back off. They don't need to rush into things like that. So they send a couple of pot shots, and I think instead they're gonna head for Roshan first. They will have Omni Slash in 15 seconds. They do have Global, they have Epicenter, they have Dreamfall, they have everything. So they have all the tools to fight this, but can they get in position? They have to push out the mid wave, one wave, scan just come out. I think it's too little too late. The smoke is coming out though. Will they get there in time? I don't think so. Kuroki and Mind Control are also in a really good position to break the smoke, and that's a 4-man vacuum. At the center.
It's a killing spree over here.
He's back. Goes back in, heals up Miracle, and this is actually not a bad fight for Infamous, but I think they're still going to lose it overall. Aegis holds on to Miracle, and still holds on to his Aegis from GH. Ultra kill for Miracle, and look at all those swords on the ground. That was a really nice combo from Mind Control and Kuroki, but I mean, Infamous did their best in that fight. They were able to clean up. They actually managed to kill Combo Man, but it didn't matter. Miracle was too powerful, manages to survive. Even if they kill him, they had the Aegis still, and
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still a huge win there for Liquid. I think at this point the game is actually pretty much over. There's not much that Infamous can actually do. They can just try to execute perfectly in these fights and try their best, but losing battle. BKB comes out for Miracle. And just run them over. It's actually not going to rush it. They go for Penta style first. He even passed him the tome there, so he got a faster level 18. And at this point, they just got to relocate in there for 2 kills. They'll take the top tower, and now they can just go for 2-3. They still have the Aegis there onto Miracle. Tom Man has a Master Madness, I'm pretty sure. No, he doesn't actually have it complete yet. He's going to start working on the tower. Finish Tempest Bear as the backup of his team, so he can afford to do this. That's a tier 2 down. Miracle is just zoning in the front line there as the bear takes the rack, and look how much damage it does here. They don't have the tools to deal with the long druid. It's maxed down. Matthew stun there onto Miracle and the bear, but backing will come in. A really good fight already for Liquid. Goes in a bit too deep, he's gonna die. Heal comes out, one micro on point for Super Benjaz. It will be a 1-for-1 trade like Rax has already been played. Duel there onto Mind Control. They will get the duel win. And I think that Liquid needs to back now. They'll lose GH. Oh. Okay. Alright, he managed to save himself from real. He didn't save Miracle though. I thought he could leave Miracle. He still has the Aegis, so Miracle is gonna go in here. Crit! Needs a crit. Doesn't get a crit. So Cell lives. But he's gonna come back in, heal Miracle up. He's looking to go in. Benjaz taking a ton of damage there, but Tillman did lose his bear. But that's top racks down. We still have a creep wave pushing in the top lane. And with the shrine, that's a dead shrine with the Master Madness onto the bear. That's a lot of damage. Miracle's hitting onto the mid tower. He's level 18 now, and he's actually just untouchable. He's not even bothering for BKB. Who cares BKB? He has the needs. Comes to duel. Should be his Aegis. Do a duel win as well. The Tumble Man. Will jump onto GH. This is a really good play. Liquid definitely making some additional errors here, but I don't think it'll matter. He's too far ahead at this point. Just jump right in there with Miracle, respawning for the Aegis. That's a 1,000. That's dead. Silencer will dive and beat for Benjab as well. Crit. The buyback. Die, diving too deep. I mean, Liquid just playing with their food at this point. They're definitely throwing, for sure. Like, if they didn't do this, they could just win. But definitely giving a chance for Infamous to come back with these type of plays. Kroki gets himself out, and I'm just gonna speed through the rest of it. Like, this is gonna be Liquid Stomp. It's not much to see from here. It's definitely entertaining, but in terms of analysis perspective, it's full dive Dota, and it's what you see with a PA. So to recap this game, I think a lot of it had to do with the draft once again and the laning stage. Infamous played a laning stage that revolved around like going for a lot of early smokes and trying to get things done, but again they tried to do too much. In my opinion, they needed to just chill and go for more important pickoffs. Instead, they're like reaching and going for like a smoke gank all the way here to kill Miracle. It's not really worth it because again, they gave Mind Control a lot of space. They needed to zone Mind Control out, and they didn't have the pushing lineup against Team Liquid. Because if they tried to just group up and push, Liquid had the heroes to defend for sure. I think if they were to improve their draft, they need to either when you're playing against Liquid's lineups, you need to be able to put pressure on the map somehow. And it's either through insane gank potential, just a couple of heroes. You shouldn't pick a lineup that you need all 5 to kill the heroes against Liquid, because if that happens, Liquid are just going to, they're gonna lose heroes here and there, but they're just gonna farm the else on the map. It's been pushed.
41 down. It's a killing spree. Oh, everyone bow down. Oh.
They're not losing their powers either. They always just hit their timing, play their timings right, and know what the game.
Oh man, this guy's dominating!
Whoa, baby kill.
Oh, Radiant's got like a triple kill here, Rick.
Quit acting like a detective.
I mean, it's good play from Infamous. So like executing these
Oh, Radiant's top tower is under
team fights
attack.
really well, but it just doesn't seem like it matters. They have to use a couple of buybacks there as well as Sand King buyback. Should use buyback. Sand King buyback, Legion buyback, and that's it.
Regeneration.
But yeah, at this point, there's a day getting 3 onto the puck. But I mean, one Druid can just come in and end the game at this point. He's gonna die. They're just delaying the game, I'd like to say. Miracle, can you actually buy BKB? Because I feel like if Miracle was bought BKB, this game also would just be over, but it's not.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
So
attack.
they mess up that push there. I don't think it'll matter. It doesn't matter.
Under attack.
The Tum Man is going for Aghanim's.
Radiant's
They're
bottom
gonna
tower is
rock.
under attack. Way to go! Radiant's bottom tower.
Miracle looks like Aegis at least. Chase the ball.
He just delivered a bunch of goodies to the Radiant.
Oh, there we go to the Tumba Man. Now they have Aegis and Cheese. They can go for mid. Mid tower is really low. Again, Io can just like tether to the bear. The bear is insane. And Infamous is only place to catch Liquid before they take the base. Let's hear them trying that now. Global silence used, but this time they won't manage to get the perfect initiation. And the results, they actually get out, but they will lose their silence. So now they won't have that as Liquid will actually reach the base, and I think the only thing
Dyer's
made
middle
the
tower
game
just
over.
took a big
As you see,
beating.
Rax
Nah,
not
the
here.
force field leads me to believe that Dyer's has fortified their
my
structure.
goodness
Dyer's
gracious.
top barracks are getting hit.
And Jazz
Dyer's top barracks
on
are
the flag.
ridiculously cut down to size.
Take out
That's
the
what I call
Breaker.
teamwork.
Survive for now. There's the gold. Rax dead. Dead without buyback.
Uh-oh, monster kill. Watch out.
Died with it. There. Benjaz is in a lot of trouble. He's going to barely get away.
Dyer's middle barracks are getting attacked. They killed all these people. Morty, that means they're
Lottie is
godlike.
lucky. That's Midrax down. Miracle still has the
Dyer's middle
Aegis.
barracks are really
Finish off the range.
Oh
and it's
no,
gonna go for
Dyer's
bottom.
middle barracks
No,
are
it's
gone.
not.
Oh.
This
Dyer's
game is
middle
over.
tower is under attack.
2 racks against the Iron lineup. It's pretty much GG. You're gonna see like one last fight, but I'm gonna start my outro right now. Again, if you guys enjoyed
Oh
this
boy, Dyer's
video,
middle
make
tower's under
sure
attack.
you leave a like down below. I am doing an analysis for every single game that Liquid played at TI. There's some games that you can learn from, and there's some that are just stomps. This game, I think that Infamous
there's some
played
angry
the early
characters
game
beating up on
fairly
Dyer's
well. I mean,
bottom
there was an
barracks.
ultra kill onto Tomato, but yeah, none of that felt like it mattered. Like, if I was playing from Liquid's
Dyer's
perspective,
bottom
I
barracks.
just
Killing
wouldn't be
spree
worried.
seemed
If I
better
was
than
on
you.
Infamous,
Dyer's
I
bottom
would
barracks
constantly be like feeling threatened that I need to get something done. And you're right about that. If they just chilled, low Jude was built to farm up really fast range, and just hit this critical mass where you just can't do anything about it.
There's a chop over
And
there.
their lineup
If anyone
is
is
solid, but it just doesn't match up against Liquid. They need more pressure on the map. Either that or they just need better late game or high ground defense. And they just didn't have any of that. It's just an overall solid lineup, but against what Liquid have, Io, one of the strongest heroes in the game, it just doesn't come up to par. Again, they banned the Kato and the Nature's Prophet in the first banning phase, and they gave the Io away. But you can see the strength of the hero here, where they're just losing. Like, it looked like they were losing the early game. I mean, if you're just looking at like the kill scores and how the game was playing out, but if you look at like the actual numbers, the net worth, and how the game was playing out in terms of the economy, you can see that Liquid was definitely keeping ahead just because Matoma Man was just farming the side lane, Mind Control was farming the side lane. They pick heroes that can farm fast, and again, Infamous couldn't really afford to like split it up or like do like some like solo plays because of the global potential from Kuroki and GH. So their option there was gone as well, and when you're playing against an IO, your options are just limited, and you can see that from Infamous, where they had to rely on going for like these big smoke plays that didn't really accomplish much for them in terms of taking towers. They didn't have a real threat to taking towers. Like, they had heroes that can push, but not heroes that can push so fast that Liquid would have to be really worried about it. And as a result, you can just see that just Aegis and Cheeses went to Liquid, and they just cleaned up the fights. Miracle definitely burst heroes. I mean, he went 19 and 5 at the end of the game, got the cheese. IO P8 is nothing to scoff at, and you can see the sustain coming out from the mech from Mind Control. They just had a good solid lineup and really strong lineup for the meta, and as a result they came ahead. And again, make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. There was not much to be done here in terms of analysis, as I covered GHIO before in depth, and this is just one of the standard IO games, I would say, and a standard Matoma Man Lone Druid game. I mean, there's stuff to go in depth, really in depth about, but I think a lot of it had to do with just the draft win, and it was a pretty standard game for Liquid. They didn't really have to make that many complex rotations or any super big plays or anything like that. They just kind of played a standard game, solid game, and came ahead because of their draft. So anyway, that's gonna be it for now, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I am doing every single game that Liquid played at TI. Said that so many times already in this replay analysis, but again, I'm doing it. So if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon as well if you want to be notified. And it's gonna be it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.